farming, as they say. See, this is this is not a pipe, first of all. This is CGI. These are all images. They're all in the realm of representation and imagination. They're way down on the divided line. Not true knowledge. Images that you're perceiving, and what I'm going to be expressing to you are opinions. Okay, so I almost had, earlier in the week, I felt like I was having an outbreak of Tourette's syndrome, but I think it's because of social media and brain rot. You have so many stupid things in your head that you're constantly reminded of, and then when you're reminded of them, you can't help yourself. You have to say it no matter what. But I was being a spaz. But yeah, so everything you're seeing right here, this is all performative. None of this is genuine. Everything I'm saying to you is actually an act that I'm putting on. Even my speech, everything I say, it's all an act. Basically anything that you've perceived of me is a lie. This Rolex, not a Rolex, fake. I bought it to impress people. The pipe, not really smoking it, not a real pipe. It's all... Well, that's interesting. Car just drove by the alley. What was I saying? Oh yeah, somebody commented the other day that I was they were saying that firstly I was putting on a different voice to try to strain my voice to make it sound deeper, and then my mannerisms, I talk with my hands like Jordan Peterson all the time, and I use words that are, I guess they're big boy words that only people that are 30-year-old plus can use. So everything that I'm saying is trying to appear like I'm an older individual. And they said that I should just be myself, which whoever the commenter was, truly knows who I am, knows exactly all my characteristics, and he called me out on it, so I gotta start speaking Zoomer speak to you guys. No, of course I'm being facetious. I do always find very presumptive comments like that to be funny, because they're assuming that you don't know me. You just have seen videos that I upload to YouTube. So from that, you're assuming that I'm a completely different person. And somehow you know what that's like, so I should just be myself. What reference do you have other than the videos that you've watched that I'm any different than what you're being presented with? It seems like seems like an assumption, and you know what those things do. But I talked to somebody today, and it was pretty cool. Talked to a guy, a wise man, Seth, and it was interesting because he's somebody that I would say has kind of broken out of the immediacy of what I was saying in the previous video about kind of the first layer of paint, and he's kind of taken a broader view, and he said something to me, and he was a Christian guy, and he was talking about how as Christians it's best to have sort of the humility of Socrates, where he says that he knows nothing. He knows that he knows nothing. And then the faith of Abraham. And I thought that was brilliant. I mean, I think that's really good. But just listening to that guy talk, and he's got a lot to say, and being able to like freely put ideas out and not make big general put people in like some sort of box where it's like, okay, it's okay for us to not listen to this person anymore. It's cool to be able to listen to people and freely engage with ideas, especially when you get the sense that they're passionate about what they're talking about. It's really cool. And of course you're going to be limited by your own biases and things that are apparent to you, that when you are confronted with the fact that not everybody's like you, you're going to be like, ugh, that's other than, I don't want to engage with that. But when you can kind of see past that a little bit, and it becomes interesting, and people become interesting to you again, because you're not immediately shutting them out, I guess. But he's able to see the good in people and in things too, like the good and the beauty in nature. Look at that butterfly. What a beautiful thing. I don't know if you guys saw it. I was reading Meister Eckhart. Something he said was, only those for whom God is present in all things and who make the very best use of their reason know what true peace is and truly possess heaven. For those who want to achieve this, one of two things must always happen. Either they must learn to grasp and to hold to God in what they do, or they must stop doing things altogether. But since we cannot abandon all activity in this life, which is part of being human, and which takes so many different forms, we must learn to possess God in all things, while remaining free in all that we do, and whatever we are, or wherever we are. That's a tough thing. That's something that I'm trying to achieve, because you'll notice yourself you can kind of notice, if you're being introspective, how you act differently around different people, and the sort of modes and avenues you go down when you're around different types of people and different groups and that kind of thing. And there's so many things that can take your eyes off and distract you from God, from the one, from truth, and you can get sucked up into lower, as Kierkegaard would say, lower immediacy, or as Hegel would say, immediacy. This has been an interesting thing too, because it's like I'm just reading so much stuff that I'm getting completely, I mean, it's really good, but I'm like reading Hegel again. Not that I read all the way through Hegel before, but starting over with Hegel and the phenomenology of Geist, or spirit, or mind, or whatever. And then his preface is pretty interesting, where he's talking like, it's pretty impossible to write a preface to a philosophical work. And he's writing this in the preface, which is pretty funny. And then he's saying how we're getting so wrapped up in this kind of edification. People are all concerned with, this type of stuff in Meister Eckhart. and connecting with the ultimate truth in a way that we cannot systematize and we cannot rationalize. Meister Eckhart does a pretty great job of poetically expressing these things that are extremely hard to express rationally, because it goes outside of that sort of realm. But he's good at sort of leading you in a way where you can reflect on these things, not where it makes sense in a mathematical proof type of way. And then Hegel's like, well, that's a bunch of nonsense. We're never going to get anywhere with that. What we need to do in philosophy is find a way to make this scientific, right? Kind of like an empirical scientific way of doing these things. You know, we have this for understanding nature and physics and all this stuff. Now, if we can do that for like the big ultimate truths, because that's ultimately what philosophy is about, is finding out about the most important questions, like what is the good. If we can find a way to make this a scientific process, that's what Hegel's trying to do, which is, I mean, it's pretty cool. Obviously, Hegel isn't God. No finite mind is going to be able to express fully an infinite thing. It's like telling you what the last number in the decimal expansion of pi is, as Segru would say. But man, who knows if any of this is making any sense. But you guys don't care. Apparently you guys just show up because you're attracted to me. Quit objectifying me. It's very offensive. Very offended at that. No, we're just hanging out though. I saw an ad on YouTube today for an AI dog. And it said, the way that they sold it was, no dog food required. It was something. It was like it has all the perks of what a dog is. You know, it understands you. Unlike you have a relationship with this AI dog. You just don't gotta buy dog food. You don't gotta clean up the pee or the poop. And I'm like, wow, that's kind of freaky. I mean, firstly, there's no way that any of those claims are even remotely true. But what? What a cursed generation we're in. Where now I understand that like people are so alone and feel so lonely nowadays, and that they feel so lonely that they need an AI dog because they're probably whatever restrictions environmentally they can't deal with. They can't have a dog in their apartment or something like that. Or they don't have time to actually take care of a dog, so we replace it with a machine, with an AI robo dog. Now there is one productive element to this. For serial killers, or you know, future upcoming serial killers, they'll start off typically torturing animals. Now the productive, you know, the utilitarian way to use this AI dog is he can torture the AI dog all he wants. You know, unless the AI is all it's chalked up to be and it's basically the exact same as a dog, and then you might really feel sorry for, I mean, a normal person would feel really sorry for torturing an AI. Because they're basically sentient. They're basically the same, right? Do androids dream of electric sheep? What's the difference between the the electric sheep and the real one. It's more of a status thing if you really think about it, you know. Wow, that segue is just too perfect. I hadn't even thought of that. But yeah, and do androids dream of electric sheep? That's like the ultimate status symbol, is having a real animal that you take care of. But you know, the ones that are kind of too poor are the ones that have the electric reproduction, which is basically the exact same, other than, you know, it even has like organs like that are replicated, so it goes like a sheep will graze and it'll eat and do all these things, but it's just, the only difference is that it's not organic. It's not an organic being. It's, you know, maybe it's lab grown, but still it's not fully organic, right? And all of that is like connected through Mercerism or something, which is deeply connected with empathy. That's kind of in the weird, messed up world of do androids dream of electric sheep? The highest virtue is empathy. And so now this would be helpful if I've read the whole thing, which I haven't, but I'm guessing that they're killing the artificial. See, this is the weird double standard, is like they're killing the replicants and saying that they're bad, but then they're taking care of replicated animals. It's kind of a weird, I don't know exactly what Philip K. Dick is trying to say with all this stuff. This is why I need to read it, but I just thought that, I saw that ad and I was like, wow, what a weird, I mean, we're getting there, guys. I mean, apparently people utilize the AI thing a lot. I never understood it. Apparently it's pretty good. Apparently you can be friends with this AI, Claude or Grok or whatever the AIs are called. But everybody's thinking about the AIs. It's just, I haven't really experienced it much yet. I don't think I want to, really. But how would you know? Maybe I'm AI. Have you thought about it? How do you know that any of this is real? Whoa. Listen, man, all you gotta do when it's wintertime, go be alone in a shack somewhere like Ted Kaczynski and have a wood-burning stove. Have a wood-burning stove, have some logs, put the logs on the fire, and you wanna sit there and just think about, can you really trust any of your sense experiences, right? Because if you think about it, in dreams we have seemingly real experiences. How do you know that how do you know your sense organs are accurate? Have fun in your brain with that for a little while and then get over it. That's like everybody starts there. I guess that's kind of the meme, is like intro to philosophy, Descartes. Oh, I can't, how do you know anything's real, bro? Which I guess also kind of starts off with Plato, if you track it all the way back. You know, the realm of appearance, can't have true knowledge about this stuff. I mean, Plato thinks that maybe you can, but he has sort of doubts about it. The only way to find out about it is through deep thoughts. And you'll really find out about it through getting in connection with the form of the ultimate good. But, you know, be careful when you start thinking tables and chairs are real. But probably just a short video today, 20 minutes in. I don't really have much to say, just checking in with you guys. Sitting here, enjoying the sun, the form of the good, God's son. Hold me now, I'm 6 feet from the edge and I'm thinking. All right, that's it. Goodbye.